Today, we installed the RDF that's running on a temporary line right now. We're getting another RDF put in today. Hopefully in a week or two, we'll get those Baki showers in. Pond is a little bit green right now, so we are putting in more UV lights. We gotta check the levels, make sure everything's okay before we move any fish from the old pond into the new pond. So as you can see, this is an absolute mess. We are running temporary lines right now. We have a lot of cleaning up to do. This was from the old system, so we kept this, but everything's gonna be pretty much gutted and replumbed. We want things to be sturdy and we want them to last a while. We'll be coming back building a custom base for this, either out of 4x4s or we'll be just pouring a concrete footing for it so that everything's sturdy.
Hi, how are you?
Until sometimes you
We are now ready for additional koi. Dug 7 feet down. We got the RDF. We got the Baki showers. Here we go. This can hold 3 times the amount of fish here. In there, all in one bag.
Yeah, they're like this side there.
Right, that's it.
You have been the first customer that we have decided to fly in our own private plane your fish, because we wanted to make sure that your fish were taken care of by us personally.
And Polo Pond is wrapped up rather well for the winter. Let's go see the temperature and check some things out. This is the first winter where we actually have natural gas boilers and a tent. The water is approximately 65 degrees. We're gonna stay with these fish until March. And when spring comes, we have delivery of a lot more. But we just wanna make sure that we ride this winter without any hiccups.
it's 62, which is fine. The air temp that's normal for greenhouses. It's also different, you're reading from different places. I'll check the heater right now, but the thermometers are gonna have an accuracy difference of 1 to 2 degrees. We could heat the water to 84 if he wants to. So, saying we set it at 63, it's gonna heat to 64, and then typically not turn back on when till it gets to 62. That 2 degree temperature difference is completely fine for the fish. Turning it up more doesn't make it work faster. So when we're heating it to 60, we can just feed them. It's at 63 right now.
Now, luckily, a little camera that we stick underwater and we can examine the fish from underneath. And we've actually have caught 2 infections on fish that are being treated right now with antibiotic from our boy Franco. Hopefully everybody will be just fine through the winter.
The one we're gonna be catching that has a little mark under its neck, it might be an ulcer. I believe this one is from Dainichi Koi Farm. It's actually the regular Showa. I believe the Showa is from Dainichi Koi Farm. One of the most helpful tips I've been told when trying to catch koi fish is just move slow, be calm, because they'll mimic your behavior. You can't outmaneuver the koi. All right, We're gonna move the koi over to the measuring tub. So anytime you're handling big fish, typically any fish over 12, 14 inches in size, you wanna always make sure you use a koi sock to support their own body weight. So if you pick them up with just a regular net, especially a fish this big, you risk breaking its back. I'm gonna add some anesthetic to the tank to calm the fish down. So there is a small wound here, but this bulge is quite unusual. I mean, when I first picked her up and started touching her, I'm like, I've never seen a stone stuck like that before. Oh, and I think it's her jawbone. It could be inflamed. It's a small wound. We will be treating with antibiotics. I just cleaned it with saline. The rest of her body looks great. There's no mark. I think it's just simply exposed. Definitely inflamed a little bit. She has no problem eating or using her mouth, so that's a really good sign. She'll take a little while to wake up. So next step, catch her again, put her under, give her the antibiotics, and treat it topically again. You'll start to see results a few days after the final injection.
Now what do we have here? We have the waterfalls are covered now in a solar plastic, and we're looking into a probe system that goes in the tank on our phone that not only tells us temperature, but also salinity, dissolved oxygen, pH, KH, and a bunch of other things that we'd like to know. Stay tuned for that, because that's an interesting piece of automation potentially coming.
So we have a little temperature monitor here for the pond, just to keep an eye on it over the winter. It'll just give us a readout of the pond temperature, and then we set an alarm on it for if water gets too hot or too cold. That'll set this little strobe light off, so we'll just be able to watch for the strobe from the house. This is just going to be a temporary setup till we permanently mount it.
Extension cord? Yeah. Okay, sure. Would we run it underneath the wood here, or are we going to run it straight out?
Oh, we could just use that. Because I don't want it on the wall. It's gonna get wet. Well, why are you gotta complain about everything? You make me so mad. You're gonna reach, right?
Need more detail now.
No,
Just
here.
a silicone?
Yeah, silicone. This is going to monitor the temperature of the pond, and then if the temperature gets higher or lower than the set point, this little strobe light that we're going to mount outside will activate, so we know that there's a problem and to come take a look.
That one's reading 60.
60? I'm getting 58.
I mean, the probe's not even all the way in.
Just the tip.
Because obviously the top of the pond is going to be colder than like the bottom of the pond. Yeah.
So serious.
Who's serious?
Me.
You get the bottom?
I got it.
That poncho doesn't look too good.
Which, this one here?
Yeah, its skin is like super red.
Oh yeah, it's got a sore on its fin. Do you see that? But he turns around, I mean, one to show Andrew and two to show the pond guy. And
Is that the one that he injected? No, not that one. He's looking a little too inflamed.
So there's two fish I want to check out. That Ginrin Showa that we would treat with antibiotics, I want to check on again. Might need another dose. And got another video of a fish. It's got a little mark on it. I mean, after examining her for more, I don't think it's a rock. I think that's kind of just how her jaw kind of lays. She seems to be eating fine. When she was in the tub, she was breathing fine. She had no problem opening and closing her mouth, so. going to try and get antibiotics in, and we'll be treating with those. We'll catch her again, put her under, and treat it topically again. A few days after that, or a week after that, we'll catch her again and just check on it topically. But typically, with antibiotic infections, you'll start to see results a few days after the final injection.
So usually the antibiotic that is most preferred in these fish is Baytril. Sometimes it takes several injections before the fish fully recovered. We'll be watching them with our underwater camera to make sure the sores and infections are gone.
Have breakfast today.
This is their second feeding? Oh, they're hungry for lunch, huh? You gotta be careful that the food doesn't end up in the filters, and we're trying to make sure that the water stays pristine, not in the skimmers and in the RDFs. Now, the amount of biofilters that we have in here between the plastic media in the RDFs and the Baki shower is plenty for this amount of food. It's just, we want to keep it clean. So we're just checking the temperature here. This is our probe, and it's reading 61, 62, which is just fine, especially given how cold it is out here. It must be almost 38, 40 degrees right now. What do you think it is? Mid 40? The big test will be when it's really frozen, 20 degrees and below.
Building homes for 40 years.
If you like this and enjoy this content, please hit that bell and like and subscribe. So stay tuned, and this pond will be filled with 3 times as much fish starting in the spring. For now, out.